Well, we're on our way over to our pickup at Potter's, which is here in Potsdam, New York. Leaving the Lowe's from our last delivery now. We'll head over here. This load's going over to Kalamazoo, Michigan. It's our second to last load doing flatbed. As I described it to my kids yesterday, I feel like I got a needle stabbing me in the heart. It's not quite a knife, it's a small ache about leaving flatbed, but like I stated before, and as I'm sure I'll state once or twice more, this transition here isn't really about me wanting to do van or not wanting to do flatbed. It's more to ease the burden of the transition in January and not having to try to take the headache rack off and not trying to clean up this truck and trying to get this truck kind of back the way I received it, which is not possible, not at least not 100%. I started looking up yesterday. I don't think I've showed you guys the holes, but I will. There's some holes up in the fabric on the roof. Well, it's kind of like the side. It's all connected up there by the window from all the stuff that I had sitting up in my upper bunk there. There was stuff pushed up that was pushed up against there and vibrating and whatnot, and created a couple holes and slits and whatnot. So I got to try to fix that. I got to try to fix the plastic. At least a little bit of downtime that I'll see in the docks and stuff, and not having to worry about strapping and securing the loads. It'll give me a little more time to concentrate on fixing those small repairs. And then again, I don't want to be sitting here trying to take off the headache rack at the end of December, beginning of January. So it's going to make that transition just a little bit easier for me to deal with. And I mean, I'm not going to lie, flatbed does have me worn down a little bit. I can't stand throwing tarps. I know there's a lot of guys out here that can't stand throwing them, but just kind of lost in the monotony and the consistency of doing the work over and over again, and they don't want to switch it up, and I understand that. I don't want to switch it up to an extent, but I just don't want to throw them tarps anymore. That's why my next trailer is going to be a Conestoga flatbed. If I go that route, if I make out good enough with doing the dry van and it keeps me home more than the flatbed was, I mean, it'd be stupid for me to change it up. Especially, I'm trying to work my way out of the industry. I don't want to be doing this truck driving anymore. I don't want to be at it 30, 40 years. I hit 19 this July. Next July would be my 20th year. 20 years completed. I'm hoping to be out by 2035 at the latest. I don't even think I want to go that far. 2035, so maybe 2033 would put me at 25 years. That'd be more than sufficient. I think if I'm still driving it in 2035 or 2033, then my other business plans didn't work out. Anyway, we're here at Potter's now. That's the main building there. We go down here to this warehouse to get loaded. Looks like the truck's over here, so he might not be over here just yet. Or, well, I shouldn't say just yet. He's been here probably since 5 o'clock. Not over here at the moment is what I mean. We'll pull up to the door and we'll wait for him to come over. They actually have this warehouse here, and then if we keep following this road around, you see it says Potter's number 2 warehouse. So, yeah, he's not over here right now, unless there's somebody else inside the building. Oh no, the truck's not here. And we got a step deck here in front of us now, so I'm gonna yank the straps back out, have them ready to go. I have 2 hours to kill, 2.5 hours to kill. I got 2 hours to kill to finish my restart. I only had an hour left over there, but I'd rather sit here for the hour, get loaded, and it'll probably take me, between getting loaded and getting my tarps on, it'll probably take two hours. So I'd rather spend that time here than sit over there for another hour and then come over here to get loaded. Delivering the Kalamazoo tomorrow morning. We were supposed to, the load that we're picking up in Indiana on Wednesday. Today's Monday, tomorrow's Tuesday. Wednesday morning was supposed to be picked up on Tuesday, but I wasn't positive about making it there on Tuesday, so I told them I can pick it up first thing Wednesday morning, and I can run it straight through to deliver on Wednesday. So, all right. Well, it looks like he's got to go to the other warehouse, so we're going to be sitting here for a bit. We'll get back with you. All right, there it is, last tarp job. We're not doing any more after this. Our next one doesn't require a tarp, so that's it for that. Use the shock cord. Got about 6 bungees on the back, 6 bungees on the front, and one in the middle on each side, pulling the front tarp back. And she looks pretty. Alright, so I already put the bills away. We got 732 miles to get to the delivery, so we really have to run all day today. I should be just about able to leave. Was showing my 30 minutes. 1, 2. Now I gotta wait about another 30 minutes. The stupid thing with Motive that they set up, making sure that we confirm our logs before we go on duty, is retarded. It's really pissing me off. I understand it's for all the people that don't do what they're supposed to, but it doesn't even recognize that I already did it. So I confirm my logs before I start my day. Never used to, but I do. I do a pretty good job at doing it. But it'll still pop up with the message. It'll basically go to the other screen and just say close. Oh yeah, you already did it. Anyway, normal weight, 45,430 pounds, 22 pallets, and we got the bins again. 732 miles. We should be over there about, it says 20 after midnight right now, so if we throw a 10-hour clock on that, that'll put us there at 10:20. And that's extended ETA. So on the Rand McNally, you can push your ETA out some, or you can push it out more. I think that's the 2 options. Route ETA adjustments. You got ETA okay, so that's right on the dot, and it'll fluctuate as you stop and go faster or whatnot. You can do increase ETA some, and then you got increase ETA more. You also have the options of decrease ETA some and more, but I can't see why you would do that unless you're like, yeah, look, my ETA on the GPS says I'll be here at this time, and just trying to get them to stick around and you're showing them a picture. Maybe somebody else can explain that to me. I want my ETA increased more to kind of give me a better judgment and idea, so I know by increasing it, it's going to give me a better time ability for stopping. Maybe a little bit of traffic, going to the bathroom, taking a nap, you know, whatever the case may be, it's going to assist me in that. I'm going to give this guy a call, let him know that I'm going to be there around 11 o'clock tomorrow. I don't think we have very far to go to the next pickup, but we'll look at that later on. Maybe I can actually get that picked up tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Anyway, right now we are going to I'm going to call the guy, and then I'm going to head out of here. I'm going to stop at Dunkin' down the road here and grab some breakfast, and then I'm going to stop either at the Pilot in Syracuse or at the Lowe's in Waterloo, and I'll top off my fuel real quick depending on who's got the cheaper price, and that should get me out to Perry, Ohio, or Perrysburg, Ohio. They're at the 280, so that I can get my fuel there, or top off the fuel there. Last week it was, I think it was like $4.10, $4.15 a gallon there last week, so we'll see how much it's changed this week. Anyway, see you shortly. Alrighty, we made it a little bit further. I stopped down here near the house, Central Square, New York. Met up with the wife because I bought me some goodies that I didn't get to have any of. I got a Danish, one of the big ones you find at stores. Raspberry cheesecake Danish. I'll show you real quick. One of them.
Turn at the second left onto East Avenue.
She wasn't supposed to bring me the whole thing, but we'll make use of it. I'll make use of it. Ain't nobody else here to share it with, and I ain't sharing it. Greedy son of a gun. That, and she cooked me up a dozen eggs. I do got that machine. It's definitely usable. But to be honest, it's just so long. I want to get up in the morning. I want to eat a few eggs, and I want to go. I don't want to be sitting around and, yeah, I'm pulling out in front of you.
Turn right onto I-81 towards Syracuse.
Oh well, they just pulled out too. They just got a much faster acceleration. But the cooking, the peeling, the finger burning, it's just a lot slower than just being able to reach in there and grab a few eggs that are already cooked. They got I think the shelf life is like 1 week. What is the shelf life for hard-boiled eggs?
While maintaining its quality, safety, and performance.
Different labels like sell by for inventory or expiration date for safety are used. It applies to everything from food and medicine to industrial goods. And factors like temperature, packaging, and ingredients all affect how long something lasts.
All it took was, what is the shelf life? And my CB radio is fritzing out. The way station's open. What is the shelf life for hard-boiled eggs?
Hard-boiled eggs, whether peeled or not, stay safe for up to 7 days in the refrigerator. To keep them fresh, store them in an airtight...
There's our answer. Up to 7 days in the refrigerator. Come on, buddy. You can go ahead of me. No? You gonna fall behind? Okay. Hopefully it's just a roll right through. It's freaking raining. I can't believe they're open right now. They just hit me up here last week. Hopefully they leave me alone. This happened to me when I got my authority. I got hit three or 4 weeks in a row, back to back. So anyway, we're down to 603 miles. We're gonna hopefully roll through here. I see somebody just rolled out, so hopefully it wasn't somebody that was already sitting in there. I got a dump truck just in front of me, so we'll find out here in a second. Then it's pretty much through. I don't have to worry about this anymore. At least for this, the rest of this load. Maybe in Michigan. Yeah, these guys don't give a shit. They have no customers. They're just sitting out there. They're not even sitting outside their vehicles. They're just sitting in their trucks. Just sitting in the trucks. They're not looking at us. They're not doing nothing. There's nobody. They're not inspecting anybody. They're just seeing if we stop. Which makes no sense because there's 5 of them sitting there. Yeah, there's one sitting here for runaways, or whatever you want to call that. Avoidance. I'll tell you what the ticket is. Failure to obey a traffic control device. That's what that ticket is. I got that. As a matter of fact, I was just talking about that earlier with my buddy. I got that in 2014 when I was at TMC. 2014, 2013, probably 2013. Anyway, long time ago. I got one of those, and I had never seen the signs out on the road before, so I was always watching for flashing lights, and I didn't see the signs until the last second. But it was bull crap because I pulled over. By the time I hit the end of the on-ramp, I pulled straight over to the end of at the bottom of, well, I'd say the midpoint of the on-ramp. I pulled over to the shoulder because he was coming right down the ramp to come after me. But I had already had my blinker on to move over because I didn't want it to seem like he was chasing me. I seen what happened. I couldn't get over in time, but instead of comprehending that and realizing that's what had happened, he came and put his hands all over the side of the truck and sick as a dog, and still made me take the ticket. Gave me a ticket. He would make me take it. I had no choice but to take it. Anyway, just taking that guy down. Boy, he's got a DOT number. He got you. Would that actor or that comedian used to say, "Gotcha, bitch"? Anyway, we're gonna truck in this rain, and I still got to look up my fuel. I don't know if I'm stopping in Waterloo or Syracuse, or just wait till I get to Ohio. I got about a quarter of a tank now. I got enough to get over to Ohio. Other than that, my plan is to get the truck washed today. Even though it's raining, I need that high pressure spray to get some of that grease and stuff off the wheels. Well, here we are in Waterloo, New York. A little bit of drama. There was somebody parked in the no parking area, and the fuel guy blasting the air horn so that he can make his delivery. He would just ignore the no parking, which I can't say I've never done, but to be fair, I'm also have the common sense to say this is where they get their fuel, so I'm not going to park here. They banged on the door, they blew the air horn multiple times. I would imagine the guy's probably inside taking a shower, and he's a bobtail. Now, this side here, at the beginning of this clip, you could see there was nobody parked on the sides there. People park on that side there all the time, even though it says no parking. But they wouldn't be blocking anybody. He's in a bobtail. He could have parked in the front.
Speed limit reduced ahead.
Just a lack of common sense that some people
Turn
have.
left onto I-90.
I tried to get fuel. I got 38 gallons, roughly. I had $211 left on my card. I put in for my advance. It's usually within a minute or two. I put it in just before I got off the highway. Sat there for over 20 minutes trying to figure out, was there something wrong with the app? I called the card service number to see if the balance on there would tell me something different. I forgot the password. I put that in. You can only put it in twice, and then they basically tell you to contact your company. And you hang up and do it again. I knew the numbers. I just had to figure out which ones I used for that. Sixth try was the number.
Continue on I-90 toward Buffalo. Right curve ahead. Speed limit reduced ahead.
Let's see. It asked me if I wanted to check my balance. I said, check my balance, and then it sent me to a representative. I'm like, okay, whatever. Bottom line, that took at least 10 minutes, and I ended up with the same balance that the app was showing me, and I still haven't gotten the money yet. So I put in what I could. I figured out the math. It'll be enough to get me to the next fuel location, which is Perrysburg, Ohio, and I should be over there about 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's 396 miles to there, and then we got 557 remaining to get to the customer. But anyway, we got enough fuel right now to get us over to Perrysburg. So we'll get that knocked out. It actually says that we could be there at 11:22 tonight. But I don't have the hours for that. I don't think I have the hours for that. Let's check real quick before I end this clip. I have 7 hours and 20 minutes remaining. It is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Right, because I didn't start from the house today, so I have the extra 3 hours, and my ETA is extended. So 11:22, 7 plus 4 is 11. Let's It just turned to 4:02. I have 7 hours and 20 minutes. That puts us there at 11:22. So we have just enough time to get there with the extended ETA, which just means that we're going to be there closer to 11 probably. But our next clip, I'll tell you when we get there. The nice thing about getting there is I can stay at that Petro tonight, and I should be able to throw the tractor in for the 3-axle alignment real quick. Hopefully they have somebody available. First thing in the morning. If they do, then that's what I'll do. And there's also a truck wash, a blue beacon right there that I can get the truck washed also. This is all assuming that I have money in my fuel card by the time I get there. Isn't that funny? 1 minute after finishing off the clip, the message comes through that the money is available now. It never takes that long. Or I guess I shouldn't say never. I should say very rarely does it take that long. I was literally just getting ready to call them. Alright, we'll see you. Alright, so I was going to hold off on doing this until I got down to Mercer, but I need to make up a little extra time today. Over the last 3,127.4 miles, with 74 hours and 38 minutes of engine run time, we've averaged 42 miles per gallon, and we've achieved 7.6 miles to the gallon by doing, I'd say maybe 98% of the time was doing 65 miles an hour. Over that distance, I don't think this is going to change it by much, but for the rest of this time, I'm going to be doing 70. I still got 380 miles to go for the entire trip. 217 miles to go for tonight. So I'm hoping that will knock the time back a little bit. And right now I'm trying the microphone on the Bluetooth. I didn't realize that I could switch it over on the camera. Other than previously starting it and yelling basically to myself and calling somebody stupid, calling them stupid. Woman just took her time, got up past me, and then darted over directly in front of me while slamming on the brakes so that she could hit the rest area. So anyway, we're at 7.6. It's probably gonna go way down now. I'm gonna be doing 70 through the 65 here, and then when we actually get into the 70 on the turnpike, I'll be probably doing about 73. Just a little over the speed limit, just to knock down the time a little bit. And I mean that's a pretty good reference to see that 65 will give me about half a mile difference per gallon, or per half a mile difference per gallon. Yeah. So instead of 7.1, I'm getting 7.6 just by dropping down to 65. Now we'll do another test with the van. Alright, we made it here to the Petro. I normally go to the Flying J. It was 4 cents cheaper over there. I know I can get plenty of parking over here. I was going to try to get the 3-axle alignment done. They said they won't be able to get it done until midnight. And
turn at the first right onto Baker Drive.
I don't want to be trying to get it done the last minute, or not the last minute, but I don't want to be getting it done while I'm trying to go to sleep. So there's not really a line over here. I'm gonna get the truck and trailer washed real quick, and then I'll head right back over here I'm on PC. I'll head right back over here and get and go to sleep. I'm actually gonna go inside and take a shower. I don't think I ever gotten the truck washed here before, but I don't remember. I don't know what the heck that was. Remember. We got one truck in here in front of me. He's just kind of sitting back here. He just start pulling up. We don't need all these lights on. We'll go with 1 and 2. That one? That'll work. So anyway, this I can get done right away. I don't have to worry about, being up until 2 o'clock in the morning. Got one in the bay. Looks like he's going through inspection. The guy's walking around with the flashlight. And then we got one in front of me. Maybe a little better view. It's a reefer and a Conestoga. That'll do. Overall, we had a pretty good day. I was gonna say I need to make sure that from now on I go up to get this load the night before from now on, but I won't be doing this load anymore. Alright, they're finishing up the truck wash now. It's been a long day, man. I'm tired. We started about 7 o'clock this morning. Started the logbook about 8:15 this morning. It's going on 11 now. Well, we had more time to drive. I'm kind of annoyed with myself with that, but it's fine. I think tomorrow is going to be pretty much a loss anyway, other than getting unloaded in the morning. I don't think I can do anything tomorrow. I'm trying to remember where the heck do I, oh yeah, the form. What's that for that? 574 miles today. Pretty good day. But I definitely could have did better. Still had, as of right now, I still got 58 minutes to drive. But I'm not doing that. Anyway, that's enough for me tonight. I am going back across the street. I am going to take a quick shower, and then I am going to bed. I am beat tired. We'll see you in the morning. Alright, good morning. We're here at the Petro. We got the truck washed last night. It looks pretty good. Oh, they're all nice and shiny. The other thing I'm really upset about is this rim. It's pretty beaten up. Everything else looks pretty good. Hopefully you guys can see that. I can't. Sun's too much. Anyways, looks a lot better. Here getting my morning started. Brush my teeth, go to the bathroom. We're gonna hit the road. We got about 45 minutes before we gotta get out of here. and see what happens. Alright, so we're under the trailer. Getting ready to turn this trailer in. And I've changed 3 out of 4 of these brake chambers. I changed this entire brake chamber because I'd forgotten, I was an idiot. I changed the piggyback on both of those. Ugh. And now this one. Has a constant leak. So it's doing what it needs to do for right now, but I will be changing it before I turn it back in. Oh well. Just for that reason, that's why I bought the extra, which is sitting behind my seat. I'm not going to need it after today, so. Anyway, now I know why my air is leaking out so bad that, well, not so bad, but it's leaking out to the point that after I'm sitting for a little bit, my brakes are setting on the trailer. And that's just taking air right from all my supplies. So when I shut off the engine, it just, everything rings out and the brakes pop. And
Your destination is on the left.
alright, we are pulling up to our destination now. Road of Commission. Looks like that's our guy right there. It looks like he's gonna weigh me in. Brand new facility here. I can see it's brand new, but I can also see that it's under construction on Google Maps. Beautiful site. They got it really done nicely. Road Commission of Kalamazoo County. Salt barn. They got all their salters and their plows. Anyhow, we'll follow this guy around the corner and oh, excuse me. Get it lined up where he wants, get the tarp off, and get it unloaded. That's a lot of salt. Look at that. My goodness. Could feed an army with that. Alright, there it all is. They're all empty. Last load of tarps. Hopefully forever. I know, it's what keeps us in shape. I know I'm not the only one that hates them. I need to find another way to get in shape. Alright, let's go over the numbers real quick, and then I'm going to upload my stuff and get out of here. Our extremely huge deadhead. We'll start off with the percentage. Our deadhead was 0.4%. The mileage was, the deadhead miles was 3. The loaded miles was 732. Our all miles was 735. Our rate per loaded mile was 285. Our rate per all miles was 284. And our total rate was $2,087.40. So we did pretty good on this load. Even though we had that one load back on the 18th is when we delivered it. We picked it up on the 17th, delivered the 18th. That was a $1.62 all miles. We had one at the beginning of the month, $1.51. All of the other loads brought us up to, we're sitting at, I'm sitting at 27.4% deadhead and $2.83 for all miles this month so far. And we're sitting at oh no, that's not accurate. That is not accurate. That is my fault. Because that's including the rate for the next month. Right now we're sitting at $18,041.90, and we're sitting at $2.67 all miles. 368 loaded. $3.68 per loaded miles. And 27.4% deadhead. So I forgot I already had, there's $1,000, over $1,000 for the next load that I already had punched in. All I got to do is punch in the miles as of right now. What really stinks is I just learned about those insulation loads, and now I'm giving up the flatbed. But I planned on, just to touch base on that real quick, I planned on giving up the flatbed in like September, October was my plan to make the switch. But because my wife is coming out at the beginning of next month, the 6th, which is only 2 weeks away, excuse me, I wanted to do the drive-in because I felt like that would be a much easier, it's just going to be much easier to have the van and having her, and we can actually spend more time and I won't be as exhausted from doing tarps and stuff. And I think I'm just making excuses. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe. We'll see you tomorrow.